So yeah, that's kind of been. Oh, jeez.
Come on.
So much for the 12-year-old middle school audience.
Oh, oops. Yeah.
Right.
That was the entirety of my Frenchness.
That was your Frenchness?
Yeah.
You didn't press the button. I was confused.
Yeah. You know what?
Is it a different screen?
It feels like it's been a long time, but it hasn't really. It's been.
I don't know, what, 10 days maybe since we sat in the car. Actually, I mean, we meet as often as we can.
A lot has happened, I think. I've been traveling a lot, so.
Before you tell me about your travels, this is Spencer Pablo, Esquire.
Buenos dias.
Buenos noches, senor. It is night.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you speak Spanish?
No.
Ah.
My last name is Pablo, and so that is not the first time that someone has asked me that question.
I just thought you did because you said buenos dias.
Yeah. That means, apparently
that means good day.
Yeah, it is. You know what? I'm on Hawaiian time, is what I am right now.
Really?
So it is daytime still.
Okay.
In Hawaii. So.
Sure.
No, it feels like it's been a while since we've done this. I don't know. I feel like out of practice for some reason, but this has been a weird week, I think.
I don't know if it's something in the air, because I've had the same thing. My week has been. I've had trouble getting motivated to do stuff.
Yeah.
I've still gone out. I've done my shoots. I usually do at least 2 a week, and that's continued. But yeah, I feel like I've almost been on autopilot. Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah. So it's interesting. I did a shoot this past weekend that is unlike a lot of the other shoots I normally do. Like my here local to San Diego, my big what I'm popular in is the family photography and
so did you do a bunch for Valentine's Day?
I didn't do a bunch.
That's not a thing, right?
No, but I did like portraits for folks.
Okay.
That I a lot of folks know me for landscapes and I don't know, architecture shots or just fine art photos, but I brought out my strobes and it's been a while since I've touched them. I brought them out, and now that I took some shots, I want to do more of it. So it feels weird. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of in that weird state where, the stuff I've done before, I don't know. How can I bring that together?
Is it like the like ho-hum feeling, or it feels like it's like rote? I mean, that's like, I think we talked to someone about that probably toward the end of the calendar year, where that's like why I got the IR camera, because like I need to do something a little different.
Reinventing.
Yeah, not even so much reinventing yourself, but just reminding yourself why
that's
you like
a really good way of saying
in the first place.
Really good way of saying it. Yeah, it really is. You know what? I think I got used to the way I was doing things before. Hence, when you said autopilot, kind of got used to that, and now I'm yearning to try something new. I think I'm in that state, and I do this a lot, where I cross-train.
I've heard you use that term many times.
So, I think I'm in that state right this moment where I'm shifting gears to wanting to try something new, to try to sharpen the sword. So
you should learn Spanish. That's new.
Yeah. Oh, that way you can say like.
Yo no comprendo que tú dices, pero si miran al autobús anarrado, yo sé. Which means, I don't know what she said, but if you look at the yellow bus, I'll know.
Are you serious? Is that really what that means?
It might be orange bus, but yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So anyway, you said you did some traveling and you did some different types of shoots with the strobes and so forth. So
yeah.
So what did you do? Where'd you go?
Oh, so I went up to Los Angeles.
Oh God, here we go.
Yes, I went up to LA. You know what? I try to avoid going to LA just because the Mexican food is better down here in San Diego. No, that's not.
I said that's the reason.
Well, one, yes, it is.
Oh man, it's
and
just,
two, I'm not the fan of traffic. I mean, who is a fan of traffic?
It's rough traffic there.
Yeah. So I know my wife. So my wife, her family's in LA, and worst case scenarios, I remember her leaving LA and coming down to San Diego, and it took her 8 hours.
Oh God,
8 hours!
All right, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, I usually expect 3, and if I'm going to the northern, beyond like
you should have been born there. So, and also on top of that, like every self-respecting nerd, I'm allergic to everything. So when I take one good whiff of good old Los Angeles air, I start sneezing and it puts me out for a day.
So this was a really good trip for you then.
It was a great one. So yeah, actually, you know what? That is weird though. It was an uncharacteristic weekend in LA. I'm used to just sneezing my way through LA and stuff like that. But no, this past weekend it was clear. I took I went to places that I've never been in LA. Took skyline shots. I'll share it with you guys. Check it out.
Right here.
Yeah, booyah. Well, you know what though? I think
I know we did it the last time, and it was just a kind of a 3-second. You kind of not frozen, but frozen, like trying not to.
You dick. I remember that. It was an awkward smile episode.
It was the awkward smile episode.
Well, you know, among my friends that we were comparing, and to be honest with you, the LA. Was it the LA cityscape? You know what it could use? It could use a Coronado Bridge and a harbor. And then it would be awesome.
I've seen some nice photos of the of LA downtown, but I'm guessing there's like 1 or 2 spots. Actually, San Diego's not much different. There's 1 or 2 spots you get a really nice angle on it, and then
actually that's kind of why we're here today. We're physically here at a location in San Diego because I'm trying to find shots of our skyline that we're not used to seeing. So anyway, that's kind of why I propose we go here. That being said, let's go back to the LA discussion.
Yeah, so
it was nice. It was uncharacteristically clear. The air was nice. I didn't sneeze my way through LA. And I busted out my strobes, took pictures of just wonderful people. It was for an event where the Winston Box, which is a subscription service for folks my size, they can get clothes that fit that. And I'm actually wearing their shirt.
Is that one of their shirts?
I'm wearing their shirt.
Look at that. Look
at
at that.
This is the first time I put it on, so I do hope it fits. I mean, it fits me, but I don't know if it fits me. So that's what I did. How about you?
Man, what have I done this week? I did my normal, went out and did my seascape stuff. Had to go and try out the new 10-step filter since I'd broken one the week before. And for those that follow my blog or I'm not sure which one will end up going up first, this or the video that shows the mess that I made of my 10-step filter. But did that kind of stuff. And for me, it's been predominantly getting lots of things in the queue. It's all been back office stuff. Probably as this goes on air.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I am like in a car on my way to Death Valley for the workshop. So it's been just, making sure that there's the steady cadence of posts and, videos and so forth because, I get that it's kind of cool. I mean, there's folks in my audience. It's like part of their weekly ritual. I get people that say, I watch this stuff on the lunch hour or
that's cool.
At the end of the week. I know that there's going to be 2 videos and I go, and so, it's
when I'm
that's
feeling
really
down, I put you guys on.
I don't know about that part. But, honestly, that's been the energy that I've been able to tap into to keep doing stuff. It's like, well, I don't want to let people down. And, I'm hoping that it doesn't, like my kind of my lackadaisical attitude this week doesn't come through in some of the videos.
Oh, well.
But for today, I got here early before sundown because I wanted to do
You're always
more.
Early, man.
I know, yeah. I used to procrastinate. I got a birthmark when I was 8.
You were so fast with those things.
I got a little library of them. It's gonna look it up.
Gosh,
but,
man.
I should put that in my. I've sidebar. I've been torturing my daughter with dad jokes, and she watches this show, so she'll get to appreciate this.
Hello.
Yeah, and
hello.
I've been threatening to put a dad joke in her lunchbox if she forgets to take it out of her backpack at the end of the day. And so then when she goes to sit down and eat lunch with her friend, she's 7th grade, so it's like the prime age to really embarrass your kids. She'd open it up and there would be this dad joke in there, and she would have to read it to her friends.
Wait. So you'd literally just write it down on a note?
I'd write it on like a piece of paper, and there's this little pouch where it's like a mesh, so she could see the front of it.
Yeah.
And then if she'd have to take it out, turn it over to find out the answer to the dad joke.
Okay, so this is the thing, though, because hopefully her friends watch this show. If not, you should be watching this show. Tell your friends. Tell your friends to watch this show, because then that way they can hold you accountable. If they do see that note,
they know they gotta read
out.
The dad joke.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm sorry.
I forgot where I got on. Oh, I was here early. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Sidebar. So, because I wanted to do some more with the infrared camera. A bunch of people asked me about it. How's it going with the IR camera? What's happening? And I just hadn't. I go out at sunrise or sunset. I kind of worked my schedule. It's been like for years. That's when I go out and shoot. That's not best time I've found to break that camera out.
Oh, do tell.
At least so far. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I've only had it for, 6 weeks?
Yeah.
And I've probably maybe shot with it that many times, maybe 6. But I found that there's a more interesting mix of, I'll say colors, whites and blacks, when it's closer to midday. And that's just not a time when I go out, or it's when I have, other things going on with the family, if it's a weekend or things like that. So, so to get here before the sun went down, that was a plus. And there was some nice, really cool shadows, because it's just like, there's some nice trees up on this hill, and the sun going down, it makes those nice long shadows and so forth. So
I never even thought about that, because from when we're early on in learning about photography, we always hear, hey, don't take pictures during the middle of the day. It sounds like now, if you do IR, that's the exception.
At least that's what I found so far. I'm curious enough that, when we're done recording, I have some other thing I've been wanting to do with the Lume Cubes, which we're using to light the car right now. I want to do something else with them, because that was something else. It was like a little gift to myself at the end of the year to let me try and do some different stuff. So I got to go play with those. I might still, take the IR camera out one more time just to take a look through it and see, well, what does it see?
Sure.
Because I haven't taken it out at night yet. So yeah, that's kind of been, jeez.
Come on.
So much for the 12-year-old middle school audience.
Oh, oopsie.
Oh man, we have to work on your joke game. We got to.
No, we do. That's
it.
what she says. I think I'm okay with. It's the dad jokes that I'm needing. Some
that one is
with.
just a knee-jerk kind of reaction.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because you could say it after everything.
Yes,
it's like the band Smash Mouth?
I do.
And they have a song called "Might As Well Be Walking on the Sun."
Yes.
You can say that line after the chorus of any other song, and it seems to just work. That's kind of how the that's what she said type of
My goodness,
phrases.
I'm actually doing that. I'm going.
Do it in your head. Just pick your favorite song, and then at the end of the chorus, just say "Might as well be walking," and it works. So anyway, that's totally unrelated to anything whatsoever.
Wow.
But I want to rewind, because you had told me something outside the car about your shoot at Winston Box. Right? Winston?
Yeah, the Winston Box.
That you met someone and you smiled at them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that turned into kind of an interesting revelation for you.
Yeah, and it never really, because I've always accepted there's... Okay, so let me rewind. Let me explain. Yeah. I went there and I met another photographer at this event, and I smiled, and I was greeting her, and she was like, "Oh, hey, you're one of those photographers," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, you're one of the nice ones that smile," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, totally," and then she said, "Yeah, there's those types that are like me, and then there are those who don't." Who are always just like pissed off or entitled or something like that. Yeah. And you know what? I've always known that, but never really thought about it. I do remember. Okay, so interesting thing about today, it's the lunar eclipse blood moon thing, right? And so I did that this morning.
Yeah.
It was good times. It was all right. But the last time we had one of those gigantic moon events here in San Diego, I was over in Coronado.
Okay.
And I remember setting up my tripod legs, and I was there for 2 or 3 hours before the actual moon rise, which, by the way, it's not worth it. The moon is really like only 5% at most larger than a normal full moon. But I don't know why I haven't learned my lesson. Anyway, that being said, 2 to 3 hours before that, I have my tripod legs up, and there's this woman who's maybe, oh man, she's like 5 to 6 feet away from me.
Okay.
And she's looking at me, and she's like, "Is that where you're gonna be? Is that where you're gonna be?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." She goes, "It's kind of close, isn't it?" And I'm like,
"Close to what?"
To her. It was close to her.
Oh, but
so she was like,
she had arrived after you.
No, we got there kind of at the same time. But the thing is,
okay.
So when I say 5 to 6 feet away, I'm literally talking about here are my tripod legs. The closest tripod leg touching the ground to her tripod leg, I literally could lay down in between. and and probably barely have touched the tripods.
So the funny part about that is that you could probably move another 50 feet, and your shot's not going to be that different. Well, that was a close call there.
Yeah.
But we're okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because the opposite side of the experience of that is shooting what I'll call Scripps Henge. This is when there's 2 times a year the sun will set, and there's a pier that reaches out, Scripps Pier, and then the sun will go right down the center of it. And there's always a gaggle of photographers that get
Is that
there.
what you call a bunch of us?
No.
Okay.
It's a different term for it. But
we'll go with gaggle.
But we'll go with gaggle because I can't think of a quippy term for a group of photographers. So, but I actually, thankfully, at least in San Diego, everyone's relatively chill, other than this person you encountered.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, you've got tripod legs that are just, intertwined, and everybody's lined up, and the tide's changing, and it's a popular place for just, portrait photos and everything. But, the times I've been there, everybody's been like super cool.
Yeah, so
and it was like, all right, the tide's going out. We're all going to move forward 6 feet, and everybody picks up. And we all move as this gigantic,
group
mass, and it's been really cool. So that's kind of funny.
I remember, and if I can find this picture before you make this video, complete the video, I'll have to share it to you because I remember taking a picture at that Scripps Henge, and the photographers are kind of in an aerodynamic form, right? Where the one right in the very front of Scripps Henge, the group, is low to the ground. So then that way the photographers behind them can actually shoot above it. And I was like, this is cool. This is cooperation.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, one of the first times you and I interacted was at Scripps Henge.
I think so, yeah.
So I'll have to look for that. But it was cool. But tripod legs are just like in everyone's
they're
space.
Just all over the place.
So when that woman did that, I was like,
that's funny.
She's probably...
How many other people were out there?
Oh, so remember I said 2 to 3 hours? As we started closing in on the actual moonrise time of the blood moon, there was, between that 5 to 6 feet between our tripod legs, there was now about 3 people.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
So I guess the moon was rising above the hotel, is that...
It was.
So
We were in Coronado looking over downtown. I have that image. I'm not going to share it because it sucked. Because I was disappointed. I was like, this is horrible. Why?
So it's funny. That's why I didn't bother to wake up for the moon. I've never taken a photo of the moon that I've been happy with, other than I zoom in with giant lens like that, and then it's just the moon. I don't have anything else interesting there.
Yeah, I know you're a foreground kind of guy.
And well, I'm a wide angle kind of guy, but you get something in the very close to the lens and exaggerate it, and change things. And so it's like, I've never done it. I mean, one of those maybe from here where we're right now, and I'm going to guess a couple of miles from downtown, and if the moon was going to rise over that side, maybe then reaching in and everything all gets compressed, and that might look cool. But
it wasn't. I didn't photograph the moon because it's a big moon. I photographed it because I wanted to see the colors, because it's a special moon. It was a blood moon. Actually, they called it a blood blue moon or something like that. I don't know if you saw.
I think the blue moon thing has to do with, because we get one of those like every couple of months or every few months or something like that. They happen reasonably often.
They do.
And I forget what the definition of it is.
Which is weird because there's that phrase that says once in a blue moon.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah. Really? I just met you the last blue moon ago.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I just saw you.
Yeah, I think if we were to age ourselves in blue moons, I'd be like a few hundred years old or something like that.
That's true. Yeah, a couple times a year. Wow.
Man. But so
the moon.
So you have. So it's funny. I'm comparing these 2 different photographer types that you've met. You had the person at Winston Box that was cool and outgoing and nice, and then you had this other person that was upset that there was 6 feet between you, and that collapsed into no feet between her and that.
I have a feeling she learned really. I could tell she was new. She was new. I don't want to like stereotype photographers, but she busted out her T3i and her kit lens that goes from 70 to 300, and she had like everything was like in a plastic bag when she opened up her camera bag, and it was one of those open the camera bag, plastic bag, the packaging when you. So I was like, okay, so she's a fairly new photographer.
Sure, yeah.
She's going to learn real quick that that kind of attitude probably isn't going to go well when there's going to be a bunch of us in the same area.
It's when you're on on public land. You don't own the space.
Oh yeah.
And I've encountered people like that, and I really don't like being that person. We had that happen a few pick episodes ago where I was if there's a Mission Beach, I was set up, I was there, there was this wide beach, and people had to walk between the 3 feet between my camera and this first foreground element I had, and it wasn't like it was a crowded beach or anything like that. And I was like, that one, that irked me a little bit because really, you had to go do that.
That was pretty.
The day I broke the filter, I had a surfer ran out as I this nice pristine section of beach that hadn't been any footprints on it. It's like, okay, I don't own that. I don't own this land. I can't go in. Even if I did, the damage is done.
So you dropped it because the surfer got.
Oh no, I had nothing to do. I
remember it was cold that day.
That's why I dropped the filter. It was like 38 degrees or something like that. And I just butterfingers. It was nobody's fault but mine.
38 degrees, by the way, in San Diego only exists in a refrigerator.
It's once in a blue moon.
Yeah. In a refrigerator.
In the refrigerator. Yeah.
So there's those different types of photographers. It was just interesting because now it was in my face, and I was like, oh yeah. Like when she told that to me, I rewound a lot of stuff in my mind, going, oh yeah, I remember that time, and then that time, and then I try to be the photographer that is helpful and.
Yeah. Did you see any of that, in yourself? I mean, you rewind to how you're the photographer Spencer 10 years ago or whenever it was. Like I used to make that mistake, or I had the plastic bags and being overprotective of the gear. Say,
yeah.
It's not to say don't protect your lenses, but
I don't. Yeah. Okay, so I don't. I don't think so. I don't want to say that, I'm the angel photographer that never has that particular type of issue, but I've always been an underdog guy. So I've always been kind of bashful to myself. I know I've got gear that, at the time I have gear that no one else is familiar with. I'm just going to kind of be the guy in the corner. So I've always been kind of like an introvert. As far as photography goes, up until a few years ago when I started talking in front of a bunch of people and had no choice. But that being said, when people would come into my space, I wouldn't be freaked out. I would just be like, hey, let me learn from you. I think that's kind of my mantra. I always learn. You saw my presentation. Never stop learning. So,
and you've heard me say this before too. As the island of our knowledge grows, so does the shore of our ignorance. Ooh, it's deep. Yeah. Not my quote. It's John Archibald Wheeler. He's a physicist. But yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I put it another way. There are a ton of knowledgeable, great photographers on the planet. Most of them aren't me.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can learn from anybody.
If you have a podcast that's interesting, I will listen to you.
That's interesting
as well. So yeah, please. So actually, a few, maybe 15 minutes ago, you said that you'd be driving to Death Valley.
Yeah.
You're driving to Death Valley for what?
To do a workshop.
And that starts when?
That starts on the 15th of February.
So you're driving the day before, which happens to be
Valentine's Day.
And how is your wife with all this?
Totally fine, because we don't do Valentine's Day, really. I mean, it'd be like, we would say Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
My son's birthday is the day before. That we do something.
Okay. It's a birthday.
So yeah, exactly.
It's a birthday.
Yeah, another lap around the sun.
Yeah. Yeah, but box of chocolates in a heart-shaped box.
But probably, not even that really. I mean, it's just like the Hallmark things we don't typically do.
Yeah. So that's Mother's Day, Father's Day.
So Mother's Day, I treat a little different.
Yeah, we kind of have to.
Mother's Day, I do think, because there's a lot more that goes into being a parent than just being a partner per se.
Sure.
Valentine's Day, you could just thanks for not leaving.
Yeah.
But being a parent, that there's a lot that goes into that. Now Father's Day tends to get brushed under the rug because it's right around the same time that school lets out and all that other kind of stuff happens. And that's okay. I'm cool with that.
Hang on, let me.
Yeah, we got
traffic. Let me do this.
My gosh.
Let me do this. It looks like everyone is leaving the park because the sun has set.
It's totally dark here.
Yeah, and so they're like emptying out. So, so interesting. Same with me. Okay, now I'm gonna open up. For Valentine's Day, nothing. Both my wife and I though were photographers, and so if anything, we're ecstatic for the next day because all the candies are on sale. So that's
there you go.
Pretty much that's it. But we did ask our listeners.
We did. We asked, what type of photography themed things do you do for Valentine's Day? And
I guess you guys are like us.
Nobody is different than we are because nobody said they did anything special.
Yeah.
All
10 of you guys did not say a single thing.
Tens of you that are listening right now. Yep. So that's cool. So we're that kind of we're that kind of photographer, and that's okay.
If that is what you guys do, I know some people bust out a camera on Valentine's Day for other reasons, but that's not what we're soliciting. That wasn't.
We didn't want to know about those photographic adventures.
Yeah.
More about do you make a picture box, or do you you make your own card or something like that? And maybe you do, and you just like to keep that to yourself, which is fine. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. So, happy Valentine's Day to you guys, and I hope your workshop goes super awesome, and I hope you have. What I think sailors say fair sails and something skies or clouds. I suck at this. You're the king of this. Well, anyway, let me wish you awesome skies.
That would be good. Yes.
Awesome skies and fair weather.
Fair weather would be nice. Yeah, it does get a little bit chilly out there. But no rain between now and the workshop would be great because then the roads won't get washed out.
True.
So we'll hope for that.
True, and based on the winter we're having right now, we're not going to have rain for the rest of 2018.
It should be dry in Southern California. Definitely. All right.
Yeah.
I think we've had a great show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's get going.
All right, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay. I should look first before opening the door.